Hi guys, in this video we're going to look at how we can apply CSS to our document. We're going to look at the various ways we can apply CSS and how they are being implemented. So without further introduction, let's just jump into it. Hi guys, I'm Raph from Raph Edutech. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you on how to implement or add CSS to your website. So without further introduction, let's just jump into it. And before then, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, you can just like and subscribe. That will help to take our channel further. Cascading style sheet, fondly referred to as CSS, is a simple design language intended to simplify the process of making web pages. Like, you can create a website using HTML code and everything, but you need to style how the website look. What HTML basically does is just like give the frame of the website, the text area, like just input the text, some commands, some stuff. But CSS now styles everything, like the background color, the background image, the background display. All those things are done with the CSS. So CSS is just a cascading style sheet. It's used to style HTML document. And some of the importance of this CSS is that it saves time. Unlike other like HTML, if you're using an HTML just to style the whole website, it will take time. You'll be like style each tag separately. But with CSS, just give one code and it's ready to go. It can be applied to any HTML document. The page loads faster. When you have smaller codes, your code are not that much, the page will load faster. So using CSS, you don't need to type a lot of codes in your document. Just few lines of code can be applied to all your document or all the things you need to do in your document, and it makes your website to load faster. So in this project, what we are going to make use of, we are going to get, first of all, you download the Visual Studio Code. As you can see here, just go to visualstudiocode.com or .org and download the Visual Studio Code from their website. Then you need a Chrome browser, because we need a browser that we can use to view our HTML. And the one I recommend is getting a Chrome. So if you have Chrome on your laptop, that's good. And also, you need to create a folder, like a folder where we're going to be implementing our codes and all that stuff. So you get your Visual Studio Code, your Google Chrome, and you create your folder. Like mine, I called mine CSS project. So you can name anything that you remember. We're just going to be referencing to this folder. So everything we're going to code is going to be within this folder. Okay. So after you have opened your folder, after you have opened Visual Studio Code, just create a folder which we are going to use to code. So you can create it on your desktop, whatever. Like mine, I create mine on my desktop and I call it CSS project. So let's create our new file. So click here, write index.html. Don't forget the extension HTML. Then shift, enter. All this our document will be pasted. Then let's give it a title. So the title we're going to be giving our document here now will be CSS project. So this is the title. Then, as we are saying, we talk about the selector and all of that. So we said that the selector is this tag now. These tags you are seeing, they are the selector. Your H1, your P tag, your paragraph tag, all of them are the selectors. So all these things here are the selector. So you can reference, everything you see here now, all these things in this whatever, this angle bracket there, your selector. So first of all, in every CSS there must be a selector. In giving a CSS a style, first of all there must be a word selector. Then after the selector, follow the property. After the property, follow value of the property. value of the property. So these are the three things you are expected to see in every CSS code. You see the selector, which they are referencing. It can be h1, whatever, p tag, your head tag, your body tag, your HTML tag, anyone. Then the next thing is what? The value, the property, sorry. After you reference the selector you want to use, then you give the property. What are the things you want to change on your selector? What are the changes you want to apply? Referencing those changes, like you want to change the color, you say color. If you want to change the background color, you say background color. You want to add background image, you say background image. So you're just like giving the properties of that selector. Then the next thing is the value of the property. After giving the property, like to give background color, you have to give it a background color. So after giving it the property as background color, you can go to the value of the property, then you choose the color you want to give as the background color. So this is how it works. So let's just get into coding it. So go back. Let's create a head tag here. Sorry, let h1 tag, that's for heading. h1, close it. Then you need to say hi there. So in this hi there now, let's like alter some things, like change it. So there are many ways to apply your CSS into your document. Like there are three ways majorly, the basic three ways. So first of all, the first one is what we call inline text. What we're about to do now, applying the style within that line, within that your selector. Are you getting me? Within it, like h1 now, we apply the style for h1 uniquely to h1 within that h1 tag. So that's the way we can apply our style. So this first one is what we call the inline. An inline style may be used to apply a unique style for a single document. So let's apply some inline style. So here, within that first open bracket, open parenthesis, the open tag of it, within it, after the h1, give a space, then type style equals to, as you see, as I'm using Visual Studio Code, it will automatically correct it for me and finish it. So you just type style equals to, open a quote, that's double quotation mark, then you type in, like here now we don't need to reference the selector, because the selector is what we are already in the selector, is what we are typing in now. The h1 element is what we are typing into now, so we don't need to like reference it. So we just need to like apply the style to it. So here the only thing we need to talk about now is the property and the value of the property. So since it's h1, let's give it the property. Let's say our property is that we want to change the alignment, we want to make it to be center, to be aligned center. So after it, style, then we type in our property, that will be text align. Text, and giving it the text align. After typing in text in CSS, you should make use of, if you are joining two words together, like two words like text and align, joining them together, you have to make use of what we call the hyphen. You have to hyphenate it so that it will be joined together. But if you make it like you just text, then you come here and say align, it won't be right, it won't allow you. So you make use of the hyphen, align. Then after referencing our property now, this is a property we want to do, we want to align the text. So the next thing to do is to make use of your color. Like we want to emphasize, we want to talk about the value now, so make use of color. So first we'll close it to our color, then we choose how we want the text to be aligned to. This is now the value of that property. Property is what? Text align, the value of the property now. So let's make our value of our property to be center. As you can see, center is there. Center, then you close it, close them all using your semicolon. Okay, so let's save it. You can just Ctrl X. You have saved, then let's run it. So before then, I downloaded my Go Live, as you can see at the bottom here. So just click on it, live server, and let's see what it will do for us. As you can see here, it's written here, text in hi there. This is our hashtag. So just to make sure that we are right, let's try and alter something and see what will happen. So there's a line, here. So let's remove the text and let's move it from center to, let's move it from center to something like from center to left. Let's make it left. LEFT. Enter. Then let's check our live. Let's go live again and see what happened. So if we refresh our page, let's refresh. Okay, sorry, we didn't save our document. Ctrl S. Don't forget, always make sure you are saving your document to avoid you thinking that my code is not running. As you can see, so automatically it aligns to the left. So that's how it works. Okay, so this is what we call the inline style. So we just apply a style using the inline style. So the next one we're going to talk about is what we call the embedded style. The embedded style. So you can put your CSS rule into an HTML document using the style element. You know, all these things here are elements, all this stuff here. If you hover over anyone, you see what they write there, the head element represented, just like that. So these are elements. So you can create a style element like this tag. Now you can create it like the open tag and the close tag of the style. Create it, then you can implement all your CSS code within that element. So let's just create it, and this style element can only be created or must be created mainly within the head. So anything we are doing, make sure it's within the head. As you can see, this is the open of the head, this is the close of the head, the close tag of the head. If I click here, you can see here is highlighted. So we are going to create our style within here. So open it, type in style, close it. So enter. So anything we are typing now should be within the head. So this is how we create our embedded style. The first one, don't forget, is the inline. That's line by line according to the selector. Just go, if it's the one of body, just go to the body, type in what you want to type. If it's for H1, just go to H1, type in what you want to type. So here now, since we have created embedded, let's try and implement this thing in the embedded. Let's say we change it from left now to right. Let's see what will happen. So to place this thing there, we have to remove this from here. Let's copy here or cut. So let's cut here. Let's cut here. Sorry. Ctrl C. Go back to where we start. Actually, we only need here, so we just cut here. Ctrl X. Come here. Ctrl V. Then here we cut here also, or we just delete here. Go here. Then we reference what we want to reference. So let's reference our stuff. Like we don't forget. Now we are no more in inline. Here now in this style row, we have not identified any selector. So let's identify our H1. So give it H1. This is how to identify it. You give a space, open a curly bracket. Sorry, not that kind of bracket. Curly brackets. Daisy. Ctrl X, it. Ctrl V, it. So we just created it. As you can see here, H1, that's our selector. Just reference our selector. Then here is the property of our selector, and here is the value of our property. Selector, property, and the value of our property. Let's change this our value to like right. This text align to right. To right. And let's see what happens if we go to our don't forget to save. Control X. Don't forget to save. So as you can see, our text is now what aligned to the right. So these are our selector works. So this one is what we call the word embedded. Just create your style element, then you type in whatever you want to type within the style. So the next one we're going to look at is the next selection of then ways to apply it is what we call the external style sheet. We have done the embedded, done the inline, so let's create external style sheet. So let's create our external style sheet. So here, let's go here, create new file, and just type in style.css. Don't forget the extension. Always remember the extension. The extension is what matters. So without the extension, we are like, how will I put it? Yeah, like whatever you are. So let's continue. So we just create our style sheet. So actually we're going to apply all this our style into our style sheet. We're going to apply all of them into our style sheet. So here now, let's copy all these things and keep them here. So let's take this, take here, Ctrl F, copy, not to cut, sorry, Ctrl G, paste it. Let's just align it to there. I don't like how it's weird. I just love doing it like this. Enter. Okay. So here. So after creating your style sheet, that's the style.css, that's the extended CSS code. So what we need to do now is to link this page, this new document file we created, to link it to the HTML, so that when we click on the HTML, this style will be applied to the HTML document. So come here in the head. Don't forget any link we're going to put is going to be within the head. So you open your parentheses, that's the greater than and less than bracket, type link, give a space, link, give a space, rel, R-E-L, enter, that's equals to, and your double quote, then in it you type style sheet, because this is our style sheet. The document type is style sheet. The CSS document type is style sheet. Then after the quote, give a space, type the reference, the style sheet which we just created. So that would be href. Why am I typing this stuff now? So href equals you open your code, then type in the name of the document that you want to link, style. So these are document here, this style.css. So put it there, just CSS. As you can see, I have highlighted already. And just click on it. Okay, so we just linked our style sheet to our document. Don't forget to close your bracket which you open, and close. Okay, so we just link it. So let's just check how it will be. Everyone needs first of all save all. We have some code here in this sheet, so let's save it. Let's go live. Okay, as you can see, we have H1 here. Let's see the style we give to it. Say center. So to make sure our stuff, let's share screen. So you need to see it there. Let's share the screen. Sorry, first thing down. I want to share my screen so that you can see what we are doing here. Okay, so here, let's go here. So now it's not center. Let's change it from center to something else and see what will happen. So yeah, just feel like I'm learning my stuff. Okay, so here, let's change it from center. Let's make it something like left. EFT, Control X. Okay, as you can see, it just moved now. You just change the position. So if you change it to right, Control S, moves to the right. So this is how we can create a separate sheet and link it to our HTML document. So we talk about all the ways we can do these things, how we can implement our code, how we can impute our style sheet, our CSS. We say we make use of the embedded, make use of the inline, make use of the external style sheet. This is the external. Okay, so this is how we link our style sheet. Alright, so that's basically for this video. Maybe in our next video we'll talk about more problem on CSS and how to like make use of the tags in CSS. So thank you for watching, and if you find this interesting, you can just like and subscribe to our channel for your help to promote our channel. Thank you.